Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first installment of Workbench Warfare. I'm Matt, aka Uncle Clutch, customizer and founder of Lady Spartan Creations. And what our intentions are with this set of videos, this being the first one, is to give education and information to new kit bashers and customizers and share tips with the veteran and experienced people out there who've been doing it for a while. And the reason why this exists, why we need this, is there are still unfortunately people who are gatekeeping in the community and are against sharing knowledge or passing things on to the newbies, so to speak. And the sharing of knowledge is going to break down those gates. When it will air will be every week during Sunday Fun Day, which you're now watching, and this is obviously recorded at an earlier time. And the show is hosted by Joe ARAH and his crew. And where you'll be able to find these videos later, not just on the show each Sunday, but Joe will link to my YouTube channel in the notes, along with some other good information, and you'll be able to pull them up if you are on Replay Squad. So today's subject is cutting tools. Very important for kit bashing, customizing, everyday activities. So we're gonna start with different cutting tools. So this cutting tool right here is not what we use to open boxes, and it's not what we use to customize with. That is a very specific use, and it should not be dulled on those tasks, okay? The next tool we're gonna look at, very important to have in your hobby kit, is a utility knife. You really only need this much blade when you're cutting. What do you use this for? Again, you're not gonna use this for, it's a U-line utility knife. You're not gonna use this for working on your figures. You're not gonna use this for precise cuts. You're gonna use this to open the boxes from Amazon and Walmart and Hasbro Pulse and everything else from your buddies, and then you're gonna use this to open the boxes inside that contain the toys themselves or the supplies. So, utility knife has a specific use, which is utility, okay? Now we're gonna talk about X-Acto knife or hobby knife, okay? It's got a number 11 blade on there, very sharp, right? We know that we can cut ourselves with this very easily if we slip, and that's very important. We can even cut ourselves when we're trying to put this back on and somebody's talking to us and we're like, hey, yep, and then we stabbed ourselves, and we don't want that. Speaking as someone who's cut his hand many times on many different blades, a couple of times requiring stitches, a couple of times just some super glue, you don't want that. Now the interesting thing about this, blade is very sharp, right? So very good for what we're doing. We have this right here. We have the X-Acto number 11 blade set. It comes with 15 blades. Why do you think there's 15 blades in there? Well, I've had people say, so you don't have to buy blades for a really long time. Yeah, no, that's wrong. So why you have 15 blades is you should, as a rule, change your blade every time you start a new project. So I usually have some company here on the bench when I'm working, and today, who's keeping me company is Customized Big Ben, SAS Commando on loan to the G.I. Joe team. He's got a lot going on. You probably recognize the head. You probably don't recognize the rest because I made that. So when I started my project with Big Ben, change the blade. If I started a new project the next day, change the blade. Why are you changing the blade? Because the blade is sharp and you want precise cuts. You don't want ugly cuts. You don't want burrs, bumps, skids, whatever other terms you want to throw out there. So that's why you have extra blades. Change the blade, new project. If it's been several days and you don't remember, change blade, new project. Also, when we're cutting with our blade, if we want to have a cutting board. This is my cutting board. It's been slit to fit inside of a rubber mat. Also, it's been used as a template to test paint colors and swirl them around on. Also to manipulate green stuff and clay, which we'll get into on another day. So besides that number 11 blade, let's talk about specialty kits. This is a specialty kit right here. It's pretty basic. It's available at Hobby Lobby. It'll be linked in the description later on, like I said, in the show notes. You've got 3 different size grips here on my left, your right, as you're looking at the screen, and you see a bunch of blades here. You have a square blade, rectangle, you have a curved blade. These are good for if you're doing something like, let's say we took Big Ben right here, and we took the McFarlane figure apart and we wanted to bore out his waist to give better movement. I've seen that done with Road Pig, with Punisher, a lot of good videos on YouTube about that. This is certainly not the only source for information, so get out there and find stuff and share it with your friends. Send links, send suggestions. Hell, send me some suggestions and I'll talk about it. We're gonna have a curriculum, but we can always take good suggestions. So, you want to have one of these on hand. You're not going to use it as much, and you're going to get a little more mileage out of these blades because you're only going to use them for certain cuts. You change blade on your number 11 every project. You change blades on your specialties after a certain amount of time, which you will learn to determine. So, what do we want to talk about next with the knives while we're still on it? Well, we want to talk about this right here. I got this from the fruit cutting kit that Lady Spartan had, and it is a stylized Kevlar glove that I can wear on this hand because I am a lefty, so I cut left. And I can basically hold something in my hand and whittle it down, and if I slip, no problem. No harm, no foul. No hospital visit. No emergency room. No deductible. So, that again will be linked. Very easy to find, very easy to buy, very easy to use. Also, you need a place to just get rid of these blades, okay? You don't want to throw them in the trash. Someone reaches in the trash, bad day. You don't want to flush them down the toilet. You don't want to put them down the garbage disposal. Some people have a sharps container. I have a sharps container in the house, so I put razor blades in there. You know, if there's any injectables being used in the house legally, but also a pill container, right? Very difficult for a child to open. Now me, I kind of like to see how many blades I've been using over time, and when it gets full, then I chuck the whole container again like a sharps container. Lady Spartan likes to keep a container full of corks from different beverage bottles she uses in her drink making, which is her side hobby in addition to helping the company that she is named for. And you want to have that just to kind of keep it around, keep it on the workbench, get rid of that blade, put it somewhere safe, keep it locked down, and keep an eye on that, especially, like I said, those of you with small children. All right, it's going to take us to the next tool, right? Scissors snips. I have Kevlar snips. These are from when I worked with fiber optic way back when. They're still going strong. I think I've only ever bought one set, and that was probably because, well, I bought a replacement set because I lost them. So this is my replacement. What these are for cutting plastic on toys. I want to shorten that barrel, put a suppressor on it, snips. If I want to cut up some bad mother overlays, snips. These are house scissors. I don't have kitchen scissors in this video. There's some over in that drawer over there, but again, we're not going to use these for that. We're going to use these to cut labels. We're going to use these to cut tape. Why? Because we don't want to dull these, and it's going to take a while to dull these, I promise you, and the tips are very sharp. So, the other kinds of snips we have are, I call them modeling snips, but they're also wire cutters. And they will cut through something very quickly and efficiently and always have a backup. So something that I, as a former Ranger, stole from my brethren in the SEALs is 2 is 1, 1 is none. So yes, I do have another utility knife, or excuse me, X-Acto knife. I have other utility knives. I have other ones of these. More than enough. So, snips, important. Now, the place to keep all these, for me, I have a cup where certain cutting tools go on the hobby cart, and I try to keep them there when I'm not using them. I don't have small children in the house, so I don't have anyone that's going to touch my cutting tools. Lady Spartan tends to leave my work area alone. So, anything that you saw in this video, which today we just covered cutting tools. Now, I don't have to tell you, cut away from yourself. I don't have to tell you, wear the glove or don't take chances. If you are a person who needs eye pro or you're magnifying something, safety, 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 okay? Always practice safely. This is a hobby and you do not want to hurt yourself to where you can't go to work or to the gym or on a date with your significant other. So that's all we've got for today. I appreciate you tuning in. Next time, we're going to be talking about adhesives, the exciting world of adhesives. But believe me, there's some really good stuff that we're going to cover because glue can kind of be a pain in the ass. And it is not the only adhesive that we use in this. There's a lot of other things that we can discuss in a short time. So we're keeping this right at 10 minutes, concise. Back to the show. Thank you.